Dogs are man's best friend, but some are more like a luxurious investment. Today, we're exploring 10 of the most expensive dog breeds, ones that only the wealthiest can afford. You might expect the lovable corgi to claim the top spot, but you'd be wrong. Get ready to be surprised as we reveal the priciest pooch of them all. Number 10. Afghan Hound.
The Afghan Hound is a sight hound, meaning they hunt and they think for themselves. They don't need you, you're lucky to be a part of their life.
With its long, silky coat, proud posture, and piercing gaze, the Afghan Hound doesn't just walk, it glides. But this elegant dog isn't just a pretty face. Its roots trace back thousands of years to the rugged mountains of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and northern India, where nomadic tribes first bred it for hunting. These dogs weren't chasing tennis balls. They were going after gazelles, deer, and, according to some old stories, even leopards. While modern experts debate whether a single Afghan could truly take down a leopard, some eyewitness tales describe lone hounds grabbing the big cats by the neck and breaking their spines with their powerful jaws. The breed was valued for more than its hunting skills. Its thick, flowing coat protected it from harsh mountain weather, while its speed and agility made it a master of the chase. But fast forward to the 20th century, and the Afghan Hound began turning heads for a different reason: its striking appearance. It wasn't long before they were appearing in dog shows, magazine covers, and even gracing the laps of celebrities. By the 1970s, they had fully stepped into the spotlight as glamorous companions. Today, owning an Afghan Hound is almost like having a runway model in your living room. They require daily brushing, yes, daily, or their fine coats will quickly become a tangled mess. And they know they're beautiful too. These dogs are famously independent and sometimes act more like a cat than dog. Don't be surprised if yours turns its nose up at your commands. It's not being rude, just refined. Thinking about getting one? Be ready to spend at least $7,000 up front. But the real cost kicks in later. Afghan Hounds are prone to a few health issues, including cataracts and hyperthyroidism. Treatments for those can cost up to $3,000, and that's not even counting food, grooming, or other vet bills. Still, for many, the Afghan Hound is worth every penny. A living piece of history, a loyal companion, and a showstopper wherever it goes. So if you're drawn to mystery, grace, and a bit of wild history wrapped in fur, the Afghan Hound might just be your perfect match. Number 9. Pharaoh Hound. The Pharaoh Hound looks like it stepped straight out of an ancient painting. For a long time, people believed it did. Many thought this unique dog came from ancient Egypt, and some even pointed to the hound-like figures seen in Egyptian hieroglyphs as proof. While that made for a great story, modern science had other plans. Recent DNA studies have shown that the breed actually hails from Malta, not Egypt. So instead of hunting with pharaohs, it was more likely to chase rabbits with farmers. Still, that doesn't make the Pharaoh Hound any less impressive. This breed is as athletic as it is elegant. Built for speed and agility, the Pharaoh Hound was made to track small game using not just its eyesight, but also its sharp hearing and sense of smell. It's a well-rounded hunter with a graceful stride and a body that seems to flow when it runs. Even today, the breed excels at sports like lure coursing and agility challenges. But don't let all that poise fool you. This dog can be hilariously goofy when it wants to be. It loves to run, play, and zoom around the house with sudden bursts of energy. Its appearance is undeniably eye-catching. With its smooth reddish-brown coat, long legs, and alert ears, it carries itself with confidence. And here's a fun fact. When the Pharaoh Hound gets excited, its nose and ears can blush a rosy pink. That's not something you see every day. Getting a Pharaoh Hound can cost you around $7,500, and that's just the beginning. Like any rare and active breed, they require regular exercise, a proper diet, and occasional vet visits. Their lean frame might suggest they're low maintenance, but caring for one properly isn't cheap. Number 8. Dogo Argentino. Now here's a dog that looks like it came straight out of a gladiator ring. The Dogo Argentino, also known as the Argentinian Mastiff, is not your average family pet. This powerful white beast was created in 1928 by Dr. Antonio Norres Martinez in Cordoba, Argentina, with one goal in mind.
And so this Dr. Antonio Martinez took the dog and bred 9 other dogs into it through his lifetime to create the Dogo Argentino, which
to hunt big game like wild boars and mountain lions. And yes, it was built for the job. Muscular, athletic, and fearless, the Dogo is basically a 4-legged tank with surprising speed. Originally bred for strength and stamina, the Dogo Argentino can sprint like a bullet, but also go the distance. It's this mix of power and endurance that's made it a favorite for hunters across South America and even parts of Asia. But here's the twist. Despite its fearsome roots, the Dogo has managed to wiggle its way into people's homes as a loyal pet. That said, it's not for everyone. Let's get this out of the way. They can be dangerous. They're banned in several countries due to their strong prey drive and aggressive tendencies when poorly trained or provoked. If you're thinking of getting one, be ready to commit to proper training and socialization from day one. And of course, there's the price tag. A purebred pup can cost you around $8,000. Sure, you might find one for $4,000 if you're lucky, but finding a trustworthy breeder nearby won't be easy. And remember, the initial cost is just the beginning. Vet visits, food, training, and potential health issues quickly rack up the bill. Speaking of health, while the Dogo Argentino is generally hardy, it isn't bulletproof. Around 10% of them suffer from deafness, either in one ear or both. Their short coat also makes them prone to sunburns, and eye issues like glaucoma can crop up later in life. So yes, maintenance matters. Dogo Argentino is a striking, powerful, and fiercely loyal breed that demands respect, time, and money. If you're up for the challenge, you'll gain a bold and devoted companion. But if not, it's best to admire this white warrior from a safe distance. Number 7. Canadian Eskimo Dog. The Canadian Eskimo dog, also known as the Chimik, is one of the oldest and most endangered breeds in the world. Originally brought to North America by the Thule people over 1,000 years ago from Siberia, this Arctic powerhouse was bred for serious work, pulling sleds, hunting, and surviving the harshest climates on Earth. But fast forward to today, and the picture is grim. As of 2018, fewer than 300 purebred Canadian Eskimo dogs were estimated to be alive, and that number hasn't improved much. The rise of snowmobiles, exposure to disease, and crossbreeding nearly wiped them out. Today, they are kept alive mostly by preservation efforts, and owning one is a rare privilege. With that kind of scarcity, it's no surprise that a purebred Canadian Eskimo pup can cost up to $8,700. That might not be the highest price tag on the market, but when you factor in what it takes to care for one, the real costs start to pile up fast. And while they may look like majestic snow beasts, don't let the fluff fool you. This is not your next family-friendly companion. Canadian Eskimo dogs are incredibly territorial and can overreact to small noises or sudden movements. This makes them a tricky match for households with children or other pets. They were built to be tough, alert, and independent, and while that worked great for Arctic survival, it doesn't always translate well to apartment living or suburban homes. So, unless you've got plenty of space, experience with dominant working breeds, and the budget to match, you might want to admire this one from afar. That said, owning a Canadian Eskimo dog is a living piece of history. It's like walking with a wolf that once roamed the frozen north alongside ancient explorers. Number 6. Rottweiler. Now here's a name you probably didn't expect to see on a list of expensive dog breeds. The Rottweiler. These strong, stocky dogs are fairly common and known around the world, so you'd think they'd come with an average price tag. But don't be fooled. When it comes to top-tier Rottweilers, the costs can climb surprisingly high. Originally called Rottweiler Metzgerhund, which translates to Rottweil Butcher's Dogs. These dogs were once used in Germany to herd livestock and pull meat carts to market. That's right, they weren't bred to sit on the couch. They were tough working dogs, built for strength, endurance, and smarts. Over time, they evolved into loyal protectors and have gained a reputation for being fearless yet affectionate companions. So why are they on this list? While your average Rottweiler pup might go for around $1,500, that's only half the story. A purebred Rottweiler from a top German bloodline can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000. And that's just the initial purchase. What really pushes the Rottweiler into the expensive dog category is the maintenance. Rottweilers are prone to a wide range of health issues, especially hip dysplasia, joint problems, and certain heart conditions. In fact, they top the charts when it comes to pet insurance claims. Owners can expect to pay over $300 a year for insurance alone, and much more if the dog actually gets sick or injured. Some treatments and surgeries can cost thousands. Then there's the lifespan. Sadly, Rottweilers only live about 8 to 10 years. That might seem short, but during that time, the total cost of keeping a Rottweiler healthy, trained, and well-fed can hit around $9,000 or more if serious health problems pop up. Still, despite the high cost, Rottweilers remain a favorite for families who want a loyal, obedient, and protective dog. With proper training and early socialization, they can be gentle giants who adore their people and will do anything to keep them safe. So while they may not look like a luxury breed at first glance, owning a Rottweiler is a serious commitment of time, care, and yes, a good chunk of money. But for many, the reward is worth every penny. Number 5. Chow Chow. At first glance, the Chow Chow looks like a living teddy bear, but don't let that fluffy coat fool you. This dog has been around for centuries, possibly thousands of years, with its roots tracing back to northern China. Originally bred for hunting, herding, guarding, and even pulling carts, the Chow Chow was once the prized companion of emperors. With their lion-like mane and signature blue-black tongue, they stand out in a crowd. But make no mistake, this breed is more than just a pretty face. Today, Chow Chows are known for their independent, sometimes aloof personalities. They aren't the type to jump all over you for attention. Instead, they tend to bond closely with one or two family members and may be suspicious of strangers. That's why early socialization is key. The more they're exposed to people, pets, and different situations as puppies, the better they adapt later in life. Without this, they can become overly territorial or even aggressive. But when trained right, Chow Chows can be excellent watchdogs and loyal companions. So, how much does this regal creature cost? Well, buckle up. A high-quality Chow Chow puppy from a top breeder can cost up to $11,000. That's right, just for the puppy. But the price doesn't stop there. Keeping a Chow healthy and well-groomed is no small task. You're looking at regular grooming, especially if they have a rough coat, quality food, routine vet checkups, and potential medical costs. This breed is prone to health issues like hip dysplasia, entropion, when the eyelids roll inward, and skin infections, all of which can quickly push the lifetime cost over $20,000. Grooming is a must, not a maybe. That thick coat can trap dirt and even hide skin problems if not cared for properly. Daily brushing is ideal for rough-coated chows, while smooth-coated ones can get by with weekly grooming. And don't forget their eyes and skin folds. Those areas need special attention. Number 4. Little Lion Dog. The Louvetian, or Little Lion Dog, has a mysterious past that stretches all the way back to the 16th century. Paintings from the 16th century show tiny dogs clipped like lions, but historians still debate whether these dogs were actual Louvetian or simply small, fluffy dogs of the Bichon family that were given a fashionable trim. While they might share some traits with the Bichon Frise, the true origin of the Louvetian remains a bit foggy. What we do know is that they've always had a taste for luxury, sitting comfortably in the laps of European nobles for centuries. Fast forward to the late 19th century, and the Louvetian began building a clearer identity. In areas that are now Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands, dog lovers started taking a special interest in the breed. There's also a belief that some of the Luvshen's early ancestors may have arrived from the far reaches of Tibet, later mixing with local Spitz and Terrier-type dogs. This mix gave them both brains and beauty. Occasionally, a genetic throwback can appear as a pup showing traits of its distant lineage. The breed took a big step forward during World War II thanks to a dedicated woman named Madame Bennertz. In 1944, she began a breeding program in Belgium, later teaming up with a veterinarian named Dr. Rickert to save the Luvshen from disappearing altogether. In 1968, the breed finally made it to Britain. That same year, the Luvshen arrived in America, and the breed officially adopted the name Luvshen. Despite its global journey, the Luvshen remains one of the rarest dog breeds in the world today. It's even been labeled at risk of extinction. While conservation programs have helped, finding a Luvshen puppy is no easy feat. With such scarcity, prices are steep, ranging from $6,000 to a jaw-dropping $12,000. But fans of the breed say it's worth every cent. Part of the charm is the traditional lion cut. In this style, the back, part of the legs, and tail are shaved, while the rest of the coat is left full, giving the dog a regal lion-like look. Some say the shaved areas were once used to keep owners warm, while the full coat helped pick up lice, protecting humans during rough times. Because of this cut, you might need to throw on a sweater during colder months. Luvshen comes in all sorts of colors: cream, silver, white, sable, and even brindle. Their coat color can change with age, and you'll often see a rainbow of pups in a single litter. As for temperament, the Luvshen is the definition of cheerful. They're playful, clever, and deeply affectionate. These dogs love being around people and don't do well if left alone for long. They're great with kids and tend to be social with other animals. Some can be chatty, while others are more reserved. Number 3. Samoyed. The Samoyed is basically the smiling snow angel of the dog world. With its thick white coat, alert expression, and that famous Sammy smile, this dog looks like it stepped straight out of a fairy tale. But don't let the fluff fool you. There's a whole lot of history and hidden cost behind that grin. This breed hails from Siberia, where it worked side by side with the Samoyedic people. They weren't just cute companions. They pulled sleds, herded reindeer, and kept their humans warm in the bitter Arctic cold. We're talking about centuries of loyalty here. In fact, DNA studies confirm that this ancient breed has remained genetically close to its Arctic ancestors for thousands of years. Physically, the Samoyed is built for snow. Their tails curl over their backs and rest there like a cozy scarf, sometimes even used to warm their noses while they sleep. Their double-layered coat is dense and weather-resistant, made of a soft undercoat and a tougher outer coat. This fluff isn't just for show, it keeps them toasty in freezing temperatures. But beware, they shed. A lot. During shedding season, you might mistake your living room for a snowstorm. On the bright side, some people actually spin the fur into yarn. Temperament-wise, Samoyeds are sweet-natured, playful, and very social. They're known for being friendly rather than aggressive, which makes them great with children and other pets, but terrible guard dogs. They're vocal though, so expect a few barks if someone's at the door. And don't underestimate their energy. Samoyeds need exercise and stimulation. If they're bored, they'll dig, chew, or find creative ways to rearrange your furniture. Health-wise, the breed is generally strong, with a life expectancy of around 12 years. However, they can inherit a kidney condition called Samoyed hereditary glomerulopathy, especially in males. They're also prone to hip dysplasia and need protection from overheating due to their thick coats. Fast forward to today, and owning one of these majestic dogs comes with a hefty price tag. A well-bred Samoyed puppy can cost you anywhere from $3,000 to a jaw-dropping $14,000, depending on the breeder, pedigree, and region. And that's just the start. Keeping a Samoyed looking like the fluff ball of your dreams involves regular grooming, quality food, and vet care. Basically, it's like owning a luxury fur cloud with legs. Number 2. Tibetan Mastiff. If you're thinking of getting a dog that looks like it could wrestle a lion and win, look no further than the Tibetan Mastiff. Originally from the mountains of Tibet and Nepal, this ancient breed wasn't just a fluffy companion, it was a working warrior. Tibetan Mastiffs were bred to guard livestock from some of the fiercest predators in the wild, including wolves, bears, and yes, leopards.
The Tibetan Mastiff is sort of the ultimate family guardian protection dog. Everything is status quo around the house, around the yard. They're fine, like the lion laying up on the hill.
These dogs weren't just barking at shadows. They were standing between entire herds and real danger. A full-grown male can weigh more than 150 pounds and has the kind of presence that makes intruders think twice. Add in the thick mane-like fur around its neck and shoulders, and it's no wonder people often compare the Tibetan Mastiff to a lion. That regal look? It's part of what's made this breed a serious status symbol, especially in China. In fact, one Tibetan Mastiff pup once sold for a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. Yes, that's nearly $2 million for a dog. But even if you're not spending millions, a Tibetan Mastiff isn't exactly a budget buy. A quality pup usually starts around $3,000 to $10,000, depending on lineage. And the costs don't end there. This dog eats a lot. With a body that big and a coat that thick, expect major food bills and regular grooming expenses. Plus, they need spacious homes and yards, not small apartments. And let's talk about temperament. Tibetan Mastiffs are loyal to their families, calm indoors, and often quiet unless something really sets them off. But they're not the best choice for first-time dog owners. These dogs are fiercely independent and don't respond well to harsh discipline. They need consistent, kind leadership. Try yelling or arguing in front of them, and they might actually step in to break it up. They take family dynamics seriously. Interestingly, their numbers began to decline when they became too expensive for locals to care for. But thanks to international demand, they've made a comeback, this time as luxury pets. Number 1. Wolf Dog. The story of the wolf dog begins in Great Britain in 1766, when a remarkable event took place. It was then that a male wolf is believed to have mated with a dog, described as a Pomeranian, though this could be quite different from the modern Pomeranian we know today. This unlikely pairing resulted in a litter of 9 pups, marking one of the earliest records of wolf dog breeding in history. In the centuries that followed, wolf dogs were treated more like curiosities. English noblemen often purchased them as exotic pets, displaying them in menageries and zoos. Over time, their hybrid nature and unique appearance made them an intriguing fascination for the wealthy. Typically, hybridization between wolves and dogs happens when wolves are under hunting pressure or when their natural habitats are disrupted, especially when there's a rise in the number of free-roaming dogs. Although wolves are usually hostile toward dogs, there are instances where their behavior shifts, becoming more playful and submissive when isolated from their pack. These hybrid wolf dog offspring have garnered attention for their blend of the wild and the domestic, a blend that creates a breed with both the loyalty of a dog and the free spirit of a wolf. Today, the appeal of wolf dogs isn't just historical. They've become incredibly rare and valuable animals. One of the most expensive examples of this hybrid is Kadabom Okami, a wolf dog who sold for a staggering $5.7 million, making him the world's most expensive dog. Born in the United States, Okami is a cross between a wolf and a Caucasian shepherd, a large and protective breed. At just 8 months old, he already weighs over 160 pounds and stands 30 inches tall, a striking figure that makes him the talk of the town. Okami's arrival in India stirred a lot of excitement, with the dog being purchased by S. Sathish, a well-known dog breeder from Bengaluru. Sathish, who already owns over 150 breeds of dogs, has become somewhat of a celebrity in his own right. Okami's red carpet appearance at a film premiere attracted millions of views online. He has made a career out of showcasing rare dogs like Okami, charging up to $11,000 for a few hours of public appearances. What makes Okami so special, aside from his size and striking wolf-like appearance, is that this crossbreed has never been sold before. His unique mix of wild and domesticated traits makes him the first of his kind, a living rarity that commands a hefty price tag. Sathish's investment in Okami is not just about owning a unique dog. It's about the fascination people have with such rare creatures. In fact, Sathish explains that he makes a considerable amount of money by displaying his dogs, as people flock to see these one-of-a-kind animals, often snapping selfies and sharing them with friends. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.